So hello everyone. In this video, we will start the topic arrays. Okay. So what is an array and how we can implement this array on so on and so forth. And we will also practice some questions of array. So this is a playlist about arrays. And if you want to learn all the things about array, so make sure to follow along. So, okay, before coming on the discussion about what is an array and what is not, so let me first discuss with you a question. Okay, maybe I just give you 10 integers. Okay, 10 integers. Okay, maybe you can name it A, B, C, D, and so on and so forth. I give you 10 integers. Okay, what you have to do, you have to take inputs from the user, and there will be 10 integers inputs from the user, and you have to find me out which one is the max one. Okay, which one is the max integer among all of this? So how you can do it? What is our typical way of doing it out? One solution that you can come with me, like what you can go for it, like that is a you can use a for loop. Okay, and using the for loop, what you can do, you can declare a int max, and what you can do, you can take inputs from the user and compare it the input with our max variable. You can initiate it with maybe -1 or anything like what we should actually do, we should initiate it with int min. Okay, we can initiate it with int min, and you can compare the int maximum variable with the user input, and if the user given the input as which is bigger than this int min, then you can update our max variable, and so on and so forth. We can go it out. But the problem comes if I ask you to store those 10 variables. How you can store those 10 variables? In this case, we don't have any kind of thing like storing that 10 variables in one go. Like if I ask you to store the 10 variables, what you can do, you can create a variables like A, B, C, D. Like you can create 10 variables, individual variables, and you can store every value in each variables. Okay, you can do it out. But there is a problem. Like suppose if I ask you not store 10 variables, if I ask you to store 13 variables or maybe 50 variables, so you can't change your program to change like store 10, 13 variables. So you can create more variables just out of the blue from while the program is running. Okay, so what is the solution? We can't solve this problem just like that. So we need a little bit more thing. Like we can't do it like just our knowledge with the variables. So here comes our new and the first data structure that we will learn, that is arrays. Okay, what is arrays? Arrays is a contiguous memory block. Okay, where we can store similar kind of data types. Okay, similar kind of data types. So for example, as I said, like I was asked you to store 10 integers. Like okay, so how you store 10 integers or how you store one integers? Maybe you can name an integer like a, and for that a 4 byte memory will be allocated there, and you can store the value maybe 4. Okay, so if I ask you to store 10 integers, so what you can do, you can create this kind of 10 boxes and create store them. Okay, in the case of array, what happens, what we did, we actually link all the boxes. Okay, in a contiguous fashion, so one after other, then other. So we like maybe here is a variable 4, and you can have integer 5 and 7 or 8 and so on and so forth. You can have 10 variables. So in case of array, we just store them in a contiguous fashion. Like you can store 4, 5, 7, 8 and so on and so forth, all the 10 variables in one go. So this structure, okay, this special kind of structure is known as array. It's nothing complicated, it's nothing like that. What we are doing, we are just having 10 different variables and we are gluing it up. Okay, we are gluing it up. So what is the benefit? The benefit is that in one go you can store a lot of datas in a singular place. Okay, this is the main primary benefit of array. Okay, so there is a constraint. Now there is a another constraint in array, like you can store only a single data type. Okay, like if you are creating an array of integer variables, then you can store just integers. Okay, so this is a little bit limitation. Or if you're creating a character data type, so you can just store characters in a single array. Okay, so put this point on your mind. So this way we just create array. So what will the syntax of creating array? So the syntax of creating array in C and C++, the syntax of creating an array is like you have to give the array a name, maybe ARR. Then you have to, what you have to do, you have to name which kind of array you want. For example, we want an integer array. Okay, then you have to give a third bracket, like starting bracket and closing bracket, and you have to give how long you want. In our case, we want 10 integers in an array. Okay, so this way we create an array. Okay, what it will do, it will create a list for you. Okay, a list of 10 integers in a contiguous fashion in the memory. So this way you will get your array. Okay, is it clear? I think it is clear. Okay, now what's happening now, just let me go on the next page. So what's happening, we created an array with 10 integers. Now let us have a look and what is happening on the memory. For example, if we create 10 different variables, okay, maybe I create a variable a and a variable b and a variable c. What will happen, like one variable will be located at the memory space maybe 100, and maybe for example b is located at 150 and c is located at 200. Okay, they can be located at any places. Okay, 4 bytes here, 4 bytes here, 4 bytes here. But in case of our array, like if we create a 3 space long array, okay, if we create a 3 space long array, so what will be created, maybe our array is created here 180. So okay, so the next point is 180 plus 4, 184. Okay, this will be 188. So this is the way. Okay, the array is the contiguous memory. I think I make you the point understandable. Like if a variable is here, like in the 100 spot, then you can just add another variable here. Okay, you can add another variable here. So this way our array is created. Okay, clear? Okay, if it is clear, so let us first create array. Okay, let us see how we can create array. As we discussed, we can use like int arr, which will be the name of our array, and this will be the data type. Okay, then what we can go, like we can use the name, like how many integers we can like how many long arrays we want, and like how many integers will be there in the array. So it will create an array in the memory. Okay, so with 1 2 3 4 and 5, 1 2 3 4 and 5 boxes. Okay, so what will be happen, so here we can store our integers. Now there is a special thing, like as if you divine like what is going on, like if you remember, like I am counting the array na? 1 2 3 4 5, there are 5 boxes, so I am counting like how many boxes are there. So we also have follow a countdown here. Okay, like how many boxes are there, and this countdown starts from 0 0 1 2 3 and 4. Okay, 5 boxes, 0 1 2 3 4, and this countdown, like we just number every boxes, okay, based on their position. This is known as indexes. Okay, so this is the 0 index of the array, this is the first index of the array, this is the second index of the array, this is the third index of the array, this is the fourth index of the array. So what is the index of the array? The index of the array means the position of the array. Okay, so the variable position of the array. Okay, so here if you just want to know like what is the index of the array or where it's possessed, 0 1 2, so it is the second index. Okay, got my point? Now there is a thing like our index, just remember thing, our index is starts from the 0. Okay, like why it starts from 0, we will discuss it on the later videos, like why we can't start our countdown from 1, why it started from 0, we will discuss it on the later video, but just for the time being, remember our indexes start from 0. Okay, now we created the array, we give them indexes. Okay, so just one more thing for the case of index, if you just have a look, our indexes always start from 0, where it ended, it ended at 4. What I can say, like in case of 5, it ended at 4, I can say it 5 minus 1, so our index is 5 minus 1. So in any case, if you're declaring an array, our indexes start from 0 and it go up to n minus 1. Okay, so the if the value here is n, if the value is n, so the indexes will be 0 to n minus 1. Okay, so this many elements will be there, there will be elements and the indexes will start from 0 and it will go up to n minus 1. Okay, I hope we are clear. Now let us see how we can create the array. Okay, we created the data structure, how we can use the array and how we can like make it more beneficial, and how we can input any kind of variable here. Now in case of variables, like if I create a variable like int a, okay, and if I put a value like 5, okay, so how you can put a value here in the array? Can we do like this, like we created an int array 5, like this is the variable creation here. Okay, so can I do it like that, like int array 5 and equals to like 5? Will it put any value, even any value in the array? Actually not, this is not the way. We can't do it like way, like it also doesn't make any sense na. Yeah, we just named it int array 5 and we are just putting one value, so it doesn't make any sense. Okay, as variables, if you just come on the variable side, what we can do, we can declare a variable, maybe int a, and we can just assign a value like 5 here. So in case of array, just remember one thing, every index, okay, behaves as a individual variable. Okay, so how we can put the values, we can declare the array int arr 5. Okay, and what we can do, if we just want to put up the value on the first index, so what we can do, we can just name here arr, and in the third brackets we can have like the index where we want to put the value, and we can put the value here, we can put 5 here, so the 5 will be here. Okay, if you want to put the value in the 0th index, what we can do, we can do arr 0, and we can value input 3 here. Okay, 3 will be here. Okay, so this way we can put all the values on all the indexes. Okay, so if I just write down like arr 4, and I can put here like 3, so 3 will be here also. Okay, and if you want just as variables, like what happened in the variables case, we just give their name here, and but in the arrays case you have to give the name and also the location. Okay, the location will be in the third brackets, so this way you can access the array. Or just as in case of variables also, as if you want to like, if you want to like print any value, like what do you do cout a. Okay, in case of variables, what do we do like, not variables, we in case of arrays, like if you want to print the 0th location, what you will do, we will do cout the location. Okay, is it clear? I hope it is clear. And if you want to just take another input also, like you can do cin and array and the index here. Okay, maybe we have second index free here, we can just take an input here on the second index. Okay, it is clear. Now one thing, so can't we have like, if you now are curious and ask me a question like, so we have to just input every values like here, like this way, like manually, like going in there on putting them on the every index. So what's the benefit there? So like we are also creating all the variables here and just putting all the values. So no, we can't just like, we can put every values here, but it is not the only way. There is also a way like we can just give all the values in one go also. Okay, how we can do it? Just this way. Okay, int arr5 maybe. Okay, and what we can do, we can use a second bracket. Okay, and we can put the values maybe 2 3 4. Okay, 5, and maybe 6. So 1 2 3 4 5. So here what the array, how the array will be created, the array will be like this. There will be the array 2 3 4 5 and 6. So this is the array, okay, which will be created. I think it's clear like how the array got created, how we can access the array, and how we can take inputs on the array, how we can give outputs on the array. So yeah, so this is for the video, like and one thing, just to remember always and every time, like arrays values, like for example the address start from, if the address start from here from 100, then this next address will be like, if the integer is 4 byte, so it will be 104 byte. Okay, okay, that's it. And one more thing, like this way we just created the integer array. Now how suppose you want to create another array. Okay, you want to create a float array. We can, how we can create a float array, maybe a float array of b. So this is the way, just change the data type, so our array will be created. Okay, and now if I ask you to just like how many, like if you know in case of variables, if I write int a, okay, so how much memory will this variable occupy? You will say me like 4 bytes. Okay, in 4 bytes in case of 64-bit architecture. And in case of array, like this array, how much space it will occupy? So there are, if you can see, 4 bytes, 4 bytes, and 4 bytes in 5 times, so we can say 4 bytes 5 times, it will be 20. Okay, so 20, the memory will be allocated here, 20 bytes. In case of float, we, as we know, it will be 4 and 5, so it will be 20 again. If we create a character array, maybe a character array name, I can name it like a d, and like a 10 character array. So 10 character array, each character take 1 byte, and 10 characters, so it will be a 10 byte array. Okay, clear from the memory standpoint? Okay, so just for a quick recap, what we learned like, just give me a minute, we learned what is the array. Okay, why we need an array, why we need an array, like the int max problem, like the problem how we can just find out the maximum values. Like now we can have a like, complete structure that can store all the values, how we can like where how the memories are linked there. Okay, we also learned, if you just come here, we also learned like if the memories are glued here, how we can just input the values there. What will be the memory locations, of what will be the memory locations, like, and what is the indexes, what is index for array, like how we can access values, how we can input values and output values, how much memory it will be located, like it will take to create an array. And this is the thing. So in the next video we will learn a little bit more about array. So just follow the playlist, and thank you.